So like every once in a while, in life and in my experience with MPW, you hit a nerve. And usually when you hit a nerve, it's means you're kind of onto something. So everyone on the call, I want to introduce you to for those who haven't read my note from yesterday. This is the yacht Amaral. So by way of background, this 190-foot yacht was purchased by Ralph Delatour, who I highlighted on the screen. He is the CEO of Steward Health. And what's interesting about this, he purchased this boat in May of 2021 for about $40 million. Now, as you can tell from the screen, this is a big boy toy, right? So usually you own something like this if you have a B in front of your net worth. Just given the, not just the upfront purchase price, but the annual carry of, I've read something like $5 to $10 million a year to both run it and charter it out. And what's interesting about this to me is Ralph bought this boat based upon property records 4 months after MPW lent him, primarily him, but some of his fellow coworkers, apparently on a smaller size at Steward, but he's primarily the owner, lent him $355 million to literally buy Steward from Cerberus, who was the former PE owner. And if you think about that, first of all, that's highly distressing in and of itself. Like red flag, right? Throw the flag about 100 times about how distressing that is, given the timing. A REIT, and just in general, a triple net REIT should never lend against the OpCo, nevertheless lending to an individual. So not lending to Steward, but lending to a person who is an employee of Steward to buy Steward. That should never happen. But if you think about that fact pattern, either they indirectly financed Ralph's purchase of this boat by freeing up his capital, or they did it purposely. And just taking that a step further, there's two ways to think about this. Either they don't know who, they being MPW, don't know who they're dealing with. They're not underwriting the people, businesses, and real estate they're investing in and lending against, i.e., they didn't know, Ralph's background, his net worth, and whether or not he could afford a boat and thereby, afford his share of the purchase price of Steward. That's bad. That would be bad if they're not underwriting their debtors or their tenants. What's worse potentially is that they did know that and that they lent him the money anyway. Either way, and which kind of goes down to my point yesterday about a 3-letter agency wanting to, potentially look into a transaction like this. Both of those possibilities are really bad if you're an MPW shareholder and you care about how MPW is allocating your capital. And like I said, this particular transaction that I just happened to find, doing an internet search on a Friday night, it was whoa, oh my God, what am I looking at here? When I tweeted it out and I wrote about it, it struck a nerve because the level of Twitter nonsense, bot activity, 2 puff pieces on Seeking Alpha, just nonsensical arguments. It's a very clear indicator to me that whatever that nerve is, whatever that center, that target is, I must have hit close to it. If I was a shareholder, I would be very concerned about this arrangement. It is optically terrible. It's gross. And if you're an analyst covering this company and have access to management, which unfortunately I do not, because, for obvious reasons, you should be asking them about this, because this is the kind of stuff that makes headlines on the front page of the Wall Street Journal that you really don't want.
Hey there, Hedgeye Nation, or if you're not part of Hedgeye Nation, thanks for watching Hedgeye on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure to click on the button below there. Subscribe to our YouTube page. You can also follow the link in the description to our website to get even more great investing content.